and welcome to the latest instalment of the Rangers Women's Supporters Group podcast. As always, I'm joined by Alan and Car. How are you both?
Yeah, good.
Okay. Rangers Sunday, 2 wins. So it's good.
Can't ask for much better than that. So we'll kick off with the news that we brought in a new signing, deadline day signing, Alan. Charlie Devlin on loan from Birmingham. She plays in midfield and seems to be quite a technical player. It looks like she's going to be quite good for us, the small cameo she made today.
Oh, definitely. I can't pretend that I'd heard of her before the announcement came out, but the most immediate reaction was we've brought in an arm midfielder, which is worrying about that Chelsea and Kirsty are not going to be back anytime soon. But looking into sort of Charlie's profile and listening to her interview and hearing about her experiences, it's quite exciting, the type of player that we've brought in. She's, I think, 26 years old. You know, she's won championships with Leicester and with Manchester United, so just familiar with working with Jo, and she's played with Lizzie Arnott and a few of the teams. So a typical Jo signing and somebody that she's worked with before and she trusts.
Yeah, Karen, it's good that she's got that kind of winning mentality already, and as Alan touches on there, she's played with a couple of players already, so she should settle in fairly quickly as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice that we signed her, 2 days ago, and then she's already on the pitch getting some minutes, which is good to see. Maybe the men's team could take a leaf out of that book, but enough about them. She looked good. I was very impressed with her. Seems like she's got good experience. And like Alan, hadn't really heard of her prior to her signing for us, but from what I saw of her and what she said in her interviews, and that's kind of player that you want, someone who's got that mentality, has done it previously with other teams, and looks like a player that's not scared to take a shot, not scared to try and break down lines, do all that kind of dirty work that we need to do at the moment with players that are injured. So exactly what we needed at the end of the transfer deadline.
Yep, Alan, we thought the work was all done. Everybody was kind of going to be settled, and then to the surprise of literally everybody, Laura Berry went out on loan to Motherwell again. A place she's familiar with, which is always good, but surprising after she's had quite a good start to the season with us.
Yeah, I think none of us would have been surprised had it happened in the summer. You know, we've obviously got 6 strikers on the books, and you can't play 6 strikers. You know, not even Jo, on a desperation to score as many goals as possible, is going to play 6 strikers enough to keep them all happy. But the way Laura started the season in the absence of Jane and Sarah, it did actually come as quite a surprise that none of us saw coming. And you can see on the sort of page on Facebook and on the chats, you know, everybody's shocked. But it's testament that everybody's so shocked as to how well Laura's done at the start of this season. You know, if Laura hadn't really been playing, people wouldn't have been jumping on it the way they have. It's the fact that Laura's came in and been very impressive, you know, and she's shown up so well after having a good loan spell last season that everybody's quite shocked at this. So good move for Laura. You know, Motherwell are going to find it tough against the bigger teams this year, but you know, they're obviously a good club. You know, we trust them to look after our players, so it'll definitely be good. And Laura Berry will go there and play a lot of games, and she'll score a lot of goals this season.
Yep, so Alan and I are just going to head off. Car, run away.
Honestly, I think it's a ridiculous decision. I think there's no need for it. I understand pragmatically that we have a lot of strikers and some of them are currently injured and they're going to come back and it's not fair. She needs to get more game time, all that kind of stuff. But I don't agree with that. I think it's nonsense. You can see how good she's been since she's come in. She's played, you know, not every minute of every game, but she's come into every game that we played so far, made cameos. That Dundee United game, she scores a hat-trick. We have Champions League, obviously didn't go the way that we wanted to, but get some minutes there, and then she's back out on loan. Which, whether that's been something that she's opened up the idea to, that maybe if I'm not going to get game time, then just send me out on loan, or whether it's something the club have said because they need to fill space on the bench with, now that we know a new player's come in, that kind of thing. But it annoys me because you can see what she's going to bring to the team. She'll score you the dirty goals, the poachers goals that we kind of lack on occasion that needs to be done. But she's going to go and do well there. She'll probably play a lot of games for them, and it's good for her development. But I thought we were finally getting a chance to see Laura Better shine at Rangers with the potential of playing in vital games and winning things. But not to be this season. We've got next season.
Yeah, just what you're touching on the bench there, it's obviously you're saying about space because there's players out injured and stuff, but then we had another youngster on the bench today that that could have been Laura Berry's place, and she doesn't have to play up front. There's other positions she could play, but it is just one of these things, I suppose. But that was actually not too bad. That was only a couple of minutes. I thought we were going to have the world's longest podcast here, but
It might be good. It's probably going to be one of the hybrid loans with Motherwell being part-time, so Laura Berry's still going to spend a lot of time training with her squad, and being watched closely by Joe and the team, and training every day with sort of Rio and Kirsty and Jane, and Katie. So I think it'll be good for her development as much as we'd like her just starting every week for us and scoring hat-tricks every week and racing Katie for the golden boot.
Yeah, so we move on to today's game. We're back at Broadwood after our travels to take on Spartans. We started with Esson, Eddie, Rafferty, Hay, Howitt, Arnott, Austin, LaFay, McLaughlin, McCleary and Wilkinson. So a bit of a surprising team card, quite a couple of changes in there. But a team you were happy with, considering the opposition?
Yeah, I mean, I was obviously happy with it. Camilla Fay getting her first start, I believe, of the season, and getting to see Ailey Austin start, which is nice. I don't know whether she's done it with resting some players in mind with next week. We've got Hearts, which is going to be a difficult game, so maybe a chance to get some more minutes in the kind of new player, the younger player, and then rest Nick, Kathy, so and so. But yeah, I was fairly happy with it. It was certainly going to be interesting to see how it kind of worked.
Yeah, on the bench we had Fife, Docherty, Hill, Medag, Devlin, Hardy, Ross, Macaulay, and then one youngster in Croft. But a lot of experience on that bench to come on, as obviously we'll come to. They did, a couple of them did come on, but some experience to have on the bench.
Well, definitely the strength in squad depth is far more sort of potent than it was last season. We're naming a bigger bench, and we've got 4 or 5 players that weren't on the bench because they're not ready to be on the bench yet. So, and that doesn't include some of the youngsters that have been on the bench already, like Lily Boyce and Sophie Black's obviously came on and played in a couple of games. So there definitely is depth there, there is options. And as Joe's said post-match, everybody's done well this season and they've earned chances in the team.
Yeah, so it started off quite a scrappy opening to the game, Car. Which I think it was maybe the mixture of it being some new kind of players that started the game, like with Camille coming in. The back line wasn't the usual kind of back line, so it was quite a scrappy start. And then for the first time this season in the league anyway, we went behind.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose that's what happens when players press a keeper. It forces them into making errors, which is something that I wish that we did more often. So obviously it's worked for Spartans. I need to see it back, but from what I recall, it's not great. Vic kicks the ball out from a goal kick, hits straight off the defender, starts rolling back. I think she scrambles to try and get back for the ball. I don't know if she slips or if she just can't make it, dives a little bit, and it just goes into the back of the net. Not ideal, not the best start to a game that you'd want, and not really great for Vic's confidence, especially after playing Arsenal and conceding 6 goals. It's not ideal, but I'll need to see it back to see if it's as bad as I thought it was at the time, or if I'm just kind of exaggerating because it's annoying that we've conceded.
Yeah, but we bounced back really quick, Alan. I can't remember if you actually even seen these goals or if you're away at this point, but a quick double from Camille Lafay, obviously making her home debut for us in our first start. A good couple of goals and a couple of assists for Howitt and Wilco.
I did see the first one, I can't say the same about the second one, but the first one, the ball was bouncing about the box and then it got laid off to Camille, and she showed the composure of somebody that's just been scoring goals left, right, and centre, and really good finish for the centre of the box. She just stayed calm and passed it in. But I'll let you talk about the second one that she scored.
Car, do you want to take that one?
See, I must have them the wrong way round, or the Rangers admin has got them the wrong way round. But either way, one of them's a scramash, and one of them, Kirsty Howitt takes a shot, the keeper saves it, and then Camille gets a rebound and puts it into the far corner. So whatever order they go in.
I think they were both quite messy, to be honest. So either could have been described as a stramash, but good for her to get off the mark and get a couple of goals on it. She played really well. And then 33 minutes, Wilco gets on the score sheet because, of course, she does, Alan.
Well, that's pretty much a guarantee right now. Katie Wilkinson starts games and she scores goals. So that it was a surprising one. She seemed to take her time and then had all the time in the world to pick a finish. I think Spartans will be quite disappointed with losing that one, but Katie Wilkinson's not in a rush to take her shots on. She knows how good she is, and she knows that she's got to get most her shots on target. So exactly what she done, and she got her reward.
So at half time, Car 3-1. A bit of a weird first half, I think, but we still went in the lead. Good that we bounced back so quickly because we could have kind of crumbled a bit after the goals we've been conceding lately, but good that we bounced back and obviously went in front.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably a little bit of a hangover from Champions League and just kind of, it was a weird day. It was pouring rain and then it was scorching sunny and you could hardly see for the sun splitting the sky in Cumbernauld. So what it was, I don't know, but we had plenty of shots. We were creating chances, but a lot of the time we were also just playing a horseshoe and taking 60 touches of the ball instead of actively trying to take a shot. And I said to Ailey Austin after the game, which I'm sure she's probably sick of me saying this to her, but just take a shot, because she did. And it didn't go in, but Kirsty Howitt had a shot which wasn't really near the goal, but that's by the by. People were taking shots from outside the box, which I think we needed to do more because we were trying to walk it in at times in the first half, which isn't ideal, but we were ahead, and that's all that matters after you concede the first goal.
Definitely. Half time, we bring on Devlin, Hill, and Docherty. Off went McCleary, Raff, and Austin. Allen. Good to see Charlie coming on for her debut, getting a good 45-minute run it, and then obviously just kind of bringing on the experience of Hill and Docherty at the back.
Definitely, I think Joe wanted to settle it down a wee bit at the back, and I don't think, say, Ailey or Laura had bad games, but Laura Rafford had been booked and had a couple of challenges after that, so it was an obvious move to take her off and just take that risk away. So Kathy and Nick settled that down, and it gave us 45 minutes to have a good look at sort of Charlie and see what she'll offer in the midfield. And a goal would have been something that she did offer, but for the officials. So we'll not talk about them too much, but
Yeah, I think she was a bit unlucky there, Karen. We need to see the highlights back to really see how unlucky she was, but it would have been a great start for her to come on and get her goal straight away, but as Alan says, it was chalked off.
Yeah, well, I mean, the line was saying offside, the ref saying handball, no one knows what's going on. Joe's raging, we're all raging, because it was a well-worked goal that she essentially just come on the park, kind of dawdles through their defence and then scores a beautiful goal, and then it's chalked off for whatever reason. But Lino, I think, had a good first half, and then the second half it just went to pot.
Yeah, definitely. 62 minutes, Camille went off, Alan on her hat-trick and she got taken off, shocking. Kirsty Howitt went off, and then Tess and Rio come on, some more experience coming on, but a good 62 minutes for Camille. She put on a show for us.
She definitely did, and Joe's always been quite careful building minutes in players, so I'm not in the least bit surprised that Camille played an hour and then came off. So she obviously started pre-season a bit behind the rest of the squad, so she'll be a wee bit further behind. So it was something I asked her about sort of post-match, but she'll be very happy. She had her parents in the stand. It's her first start, and she's played well. She's stood up to the physicality Spartans bring. You talk about sort of not taking enough shots on for the edge of the box, but Spartans are very dogged and blocking off angles for shooting and passing. So tough test against Spartans, even though it's a team we should be beating comfortably. And I think Camille was probably one of the standouts for us.
I'm just glad that I've no jinxed her by sponsoring her, so happy days. Just kicked on instead. Good lass. We get to the 78th minute and Rio gets on the score sheet. A nice assist from Brogan Hay, who was kind of causing a lot of bother for the left back. Had her running ragged.
The two of them, the defenders or whatever position they were not having a great time against Brogan down that wing. She was, taking them on and then just getting in the byline and cutting balls into the box, and this one came off, and it's a really nice worked goal, one that I really want to see back, because the header at the time looked like a beautiful header from Rio, but the cross into the box was perfectly placed by Brogan, expertly done, exactly what she can offer you. And at that point I thought she was getting ready to go off because she'd rolled her socks down, looked like she was done for the day, and then she comes out with that. And I think after that she had about 3 more shots exactly the same that didn't come off for her, but were exactly the same ones. So it's obviously something they'd worked on.
Yeah, and you can see the good work there. And then Wilco got our second of the day, Alan. This time Rio turned the assist.
Yeah, you felt it was a march towards the inevitable once Katie Wilkinson's got her second, and probably more than even looking at a goal. That's what everybody was sort of looking at, just wondering how long it was going to take her to get a third. But that sort of streak ended today. But Katie Wilkinson's just in the position so often that she gets on the end of these chances, and they're going to find the back of the net more often than not.
Yep, Kat, and then Love finished off the game. She got a goal, much like the goal she scored at, was it Aberdeen, Montrose, whatever game it was. But a very similar goal. She seems to always enjoy scoring a goal, so she got the last goal of the day.
Yeah, or Katie McLaughlin, as the Twitter admin team probably wants to forget that they tweeted a picture with that name on it, which I found quite funny at the time. Their keeper really needs to be doing better here. As much as it's a good goal from Liv, it so slowly trickles into the net that she really needs to be doing better to make sure that's not going in. But I'm not complaining that we scored a bunch of goals and looked better in the second half, so can't be too mad. Always good for Liv to get a goal and, captain the first half until Nick came on the second half and then retook the armband, which is interesting to see.
Yep, so the game finished 6-1, and as it's just popped up, a good timing from the Rangers media, and 100th appearance for Kirsty Hout today, Alan.
Yeah, these milestones seem to be coming thick and fast. Last week it was Mia with her 50th appearance. There's quite a few hit big milestones last season, so I'm not sure who the next one will be. Hazard, I guess, might be Kathy. Must be due to hit a milestone soon, unless I've missed one that she's hit. But it's brilliant to see how many players have contributed so much over such a period of time to the club. And Kirsty Howe has won all the trophies in Scotland, and won them with us and won them elsewhere. So, Kirsty Howe continues to sort of provide and add to the squad. So long may that continue.
Yep. So, Car, player of the match for today?
I don't know. I'm torn between Camille and Brogan. Obviously, Camille, 2 good goals in the first half, worked her socks off. She was really good. Very technically gifted, which I like. She kind of just danced through their low block at times, which I enjoy, because it annoys me when we just let teams sit like that and we can't seem to get through them. But Brogan as well, I think she offered quite a lot today. She usually always does. That's what Brogan does. But that assist and just her general, she just kept going. Her work rate was exceptional today. I think I'll just give it to Brogan.
Alan?
Hard to argue with Brogan. You know, Camille's had a really good game. You know, Charlie's came on, had a very good second half. But, you know, Brogan was an absolute menace on the right wing, and Spartans must absolutely hate playing against Brogan here because she seems to have just that extra wee bit every time she plays Spartans.
Yeah, well, of course, I'm going to go for Camille Lefay, so no hat trick for Brogan, unfortunately, but I'll go for Camille Lefay. So you spoke to Joe, and I take it, was it Camille as well you spoke to?
That was Camille, yeah.
So do you want to let us hear what they said?
Yeah, as we've been talking about Camille, I'll play a short interview. It's just under 2 minutes with Camille. Camille, your first start, I believe your parents were here to watch that. How important was that for you?
I obviously was extremely happy to have earned the start today, but to be able to share that experience with my parents here for the first time visiting me was just the cherry on top.
Playing just off the strikers, is that probably where you see your best position?
Yes, I do find myself and my qualities to be emphasized, and my strengths seem to come out the most when I'm hanging in that pocket underneath the strikers. So I'm glad that Joe has seen that in me and that I'm able to bring my playing style to the team.
Spartans always provide quite a tough test and are quite scrappy and dogged in defence. How do you enjoy a physical battle out there?
I think that Spartans did a great job of reminding us that physicality and being aggressive is extremely important, and to be taking care of the ball when we do have possession of it. So, yeah, I think that we were able to and have a good reminder that being physical is extremely important, and so thankful for that.
You played about 60 or so minutes today. How close are you to full fitness now? Getting up to speed?
I think they've introduced me well into the team in trainings and in the games, and I'm just fortunate to be winning a little bit more of playing time slowly, and yeah, I'm feeling good, feeling fit.
Brilliant. Thanks a lot, Camille. Well done today.
Thank you.
So, as you hear, Camille's very sort of thoughtful on what she says. She's sort of super pleasant anytime you speak to her, and you know seems to have the sort of real humble, hard-working attitude that you know sees her fit into that squad, because we see that attitude out of everybody in the squad.
Yeah, she seemed hesitant, kind of thinking what she was saying, but I suppose it's a good thing that she's not wanting to kind of say the wrong thing. But considering she's such a good technical player, you'd think she would be a bit more confident, but maybe that'll come. She's still quite young, I believe. So good to hear from her, though, and obviously a good start in front of her parents. They were behind us, so she was talking to us, and then she just turned French on and just started talking to them, quite the thing. So it was a bit bizarre, but good that they were there, and good that she obviously scored a couple of goals whilst they were there seeing her.
Definitely. What did you take from it, Car?
She's very sweet, doesn't she? Like, it's very methodical when she was answering the questions. It's almost like it was like an interview. I suppose it is an interview in a sense, but like almost like a job interview where she's like, yes, and then like answers the question. But it's only her, second professional contract, and she was in France before that. So it's obviously a bit different in France compared to here. It's a brand new country, what have you. But yeah, it's interesting. You hear different players talking, because some of them are very laid back and just talk like they normally talk, and then some go proper, like, I don't know, formal almost when they're doing it. So it's interesting to see that differences. But yeah, she seems nice, good enough player for me, so I like her.
She was actually asked after the interviews if she'd done media training, but she laughed and said she's never done that. She's just super nervous, so she's surprised that it comes across that she knows what she's doing, because she says she's not.
Fair enough. And Jo, she knows what she's talking about.
Yeah, Jo definitely knows what she's talking about, and I think the tone of the conversation might have been quite a bit different had we not had that late 40 goals.
George, you've said there's some things you weren't happy about the game. Is one of the most pleasing things that the girls kept going in a game it looked at might to finish at 3-1, that they've went and scored 3 goals quite late on.
Yeah, that's literally what I said to the players at the end, you know, in the little talk that we had. I just said, it's good that you turned it around. It's good that you managed to keep it going, because it could have been one of those games that just fizzled out. We knew that we weren't playing particularly well, but we were still 3-1 ahead. I think, you know, the Cammy coming in and getting 2 goals, which were very much needed after the mistake early on, was big for us. And then the changes that we made in the second half and allowed us to grow into the game and take a little more control. We knew that we'd create chances. So I think that's a big thing for us. Scoring 3 goals in that second half, when we could have easily just let the game fizzle out, was really important.
Although there were changes to the team, there's a lot of experience out there, but you chose Liv McLaughlin as captain.
Yeah.
What do you see in Liv as a leader?
Oh, you can see it out there. I don't think I need to say much about Liv. You know, she leads by example in everything that she does. You know, she's the same in training as what she is in games. You can hear her. I think everyone forgets she's 19. You know, she's still a young kid, but she's got a good head on her shoulders, and she leads by example every single time she puts that shirt on. So, you know, it's just something that a little bit of a well done from us today. You know, it's not a token. It never is a token. To wear that armband for this club is never a token gesture. So for her to put that armband on, I know it meant a lot for her. It will mean a lot for her family as well. But it's very much deserved. You know, I think she's definitely a future leader, and something that you see on the pitch. She gives her all every single minute.
You brought in Charlie during the week, somebody you've obviously worked with before. How important is it to bring in people who understand what it's like to win league championships?
Yeah, it's very important. It's important for me. Charlie knows how I work. I know how she works as well. So, you know, when you bring in somebody late in the window like that, I think you've got to have a little bit of connection, because you can't wait for too long to get them up to speed and up to scratch. You know, she's had limited minutes throughout the pre-season, so it's important that we manage it properly. But I think you can just see in little spells in there, you know, how she can move with the ball, her quality to take between lines. She's only going to get better with that. You know, she said to me after that, you know, I've got to realise that playing a little bit differently now to change that mindset from a Birmingham mindset to a Rangers mindset. So she can see it. She's an intelligent player, and she's a winner. So as we said, she's going to be an important addition to the squad just for that mentality piece, as well as on the pitch.
Last one, we've got some minutes into the legs as players coming back and haven't played much. How close are any of the other girls to coming back from injury?
Yeah, we've got a couple that are close. You know, Jano's near enough there and thereabouts now. She's had a good couple of sessions, so she should be free to go for next week. Who else have I got? I'm missing quite a few. Chelsea will be sidelined for a while. She'll be out for a numerous amount of weeks, probably a couple of months up to now. It's a pretty significant one, so that's a blow for us. Innie's a little bit closer. I'm hoping she'll be back in the next month. We'll have to see how soon we can get her back. Because we know that, you know, you're missing Chelsea and Innie out of the park. It's a big gap for us. So there are a couple of big players that's missing. Sarah's about to run this week, so she'll be a while away at the moment. But Megan Bell should be back in training this week too. So, you know, for as much as we're missing a couple, hopefully we'll have a couple more back in and around the squad pretty soon.
Brilliant. Thanks a lot, Joe.
So your thoughts, Laura?
Yeah, disappointed obviously that a couple of the Chelsea and Innie are going to be out for a wee while, but also good to hear her talk about Liv. I thought she wasn't going to give you too much away, and then she ended up talking about her anyway. But I think she's right when you do forget that she is only 19, but she plays like she's been playing for years, really. But yeah, she obviously speaks really positive about all the players, but also Charlie coming in and switching mindset, which is obviously one thing's already, but don't know how much more of a mindset switch she's going to need to do when she's already got a couple of league championships. But good that they're obviously having these kind of chats and that all the time, and it seems really positive, other than the injuries, obviously.
Yeah, the mindset switch was probably one of the biggest takeaways that I took from it. You know, Joe's quite right. You know, You know, we don't need her to tell us about Liv's qualities, but you know, it was a chance just to speak about Liv's qualities and you know shine that light, because Liv's had done an absolutely brilliant start to the season and she's get better and better every time she pulls on that Rangers jersey. Do you agree, Car?
Oh, 100%. I forget that she's only, 2 years older than Kirsten McLean, 3 years older than Laura Berry. Like our young players that you still view as being very young. And then Liv's there and she's almost like 30 years old because of the experiences, and she's played down south and Aston Villa wanted to keep her, and then we've managed to get hold of her. It's just incredible, really, when you think about it. So, yeah, I mean, the fact that Joe's already looking at her as a future leader is a testament to her to be 19 years old already, have a manager that, she's played under previously, but to come here and be told, well, you've got the armband today, but you've got the qualities that I really look for in a captain, must be incredible for her to, be told that. Like, the confidence boost that must give her is incredible. Not that she needs it, because she's already very confident and very good as a player, but must be great to have a manager, say that to her. So yeah, definitely something that I'd agree with.
Yep, definitely. And talking of young players, we'll just go through the loan report. We had Summer Laird and Mia MacArthur starting for Livingston. Summer played 90 minutes and Mia played 70 minutes. They won 5-2 against St Johnstone. Mason was on the bench for Motherwell, but she came on and played about 10-ish minutes. Laura Berry played the full 90 and she got a yellow card because, of course, she did. She's Laura Berry. Casey McKenna obviously couldn't play because she's at Spartans. Was obviously faced, so that couldn't mean she couldn't play. Kirsten Love started for Hamilton and scored, as did Sophie Townsley. She was on the bench and then she came on and scored. Abby Tobin also started, but unlike the other two, she never scored. Millie Payton was on the bench for Queen's Park, and Maddie Maxwell started for Gartcairn in a 3-1 defeat, but no goals for her this week. But good to see the majority of players are getting starts again, Karen, amongst the goals as well, which is always positive.
Yeah, I mean, the three at Hamilton seem to be having a whale of a time. They're, playing week in, week out, contributing assists and goals all over the shop. So they must, really be enjoying it, which is, great to see young players that are going out and flourishing. I mean, Laura Berry's in the door 5 minutes and she's already playing full games, getting yellow cards and having a few shots on target, which you can't really ask for much more. That's just what she does. And, Glasgow City only beat them 1-0. So, there could have been a moment there where she could have got the equaliser, but not to be this week, unfortunately. I'd like Mason to get some more minutes, but I feel like I'm going to say that every week. But that's just the way it is. Like, Motherwell have then lost one of their players. So there is potential there for more game time coming up. But, everyone's getting some game time, which is all that we can ask. We can't expect every team to play 90 minutes for all our players.
Yeah, Alan, Mia MacArthur doing well at Livingston as well as Summer Laird, but Mia MacArthur was actually the Player of the Month for Livingston this month as well, so she's doing really well there. Obviously, they're kind of the league below, but it's good that they're getting minutes and their loanees are doing well and showing why they're at the Rangers Academy.
Absolutely. I've not had a chance to see Livingston play yet this season, but the reports coming in show that both Summer and me are doing very well. And Abby's sort of defence at not scoring like Sophie and Kirsten did for Hamilton. She has been playing left back here, so we'll give her a wee bit of slack.
I think she has scored this season though, so she's got it in her. But yep, good that they're obviously getting minutes and showing that's what they can do. So next up, we've got Hearts away at the Oriam next Sunday, 4:10 kick-off. Tickets are on sale, but it's also going to be on BBC Alba. Would expect kind of the experienced players to come back in, Nick Dog back in, Cathy Hill, etc.
Yeah, I just assume so. I don't know if we go to a back four or if we stick with three. I don't know, because Joe just kind of makes it up as she goes along each week, so we'll never know. But I just assume it would be back to the kind of strongest 11 that we have. I'd potentially Rio starting next to Wilco instead of Kirsty Howitt, but again, it just depends. It's going to be tough. Like Hearts have obviously had a great start to the season, neck and neck with us on points. They're only 11 goals behind us in goal difference. Not that really matters at this point, but I'm just keeping track. So it's definitely going to be a tough test. We usually struggle a little bit when we go there, and especially when Hearts have improved as much as they have, it's definitely going to be difficult. So we need everyone to be firing from the first minute. Go and get a couple of early goals, and we should be all right. But it's definitely going to be interesting.
Do you agree with that, Alan?
Yeah, I think it's by a distance going to be our toughest domestic test so far this season. Hearts are absolutely flying. They've added very, very well in the summer. Although they did lose Carly Girasoli to a dreaded ACL recently, so they are a little lighter at the back. But in terms of the way we set up, it'd be quite interesting to see, given that Hearts are playing a very similar way to how we've been playing most of the time with a back three. So that could be a very interesting look at how we start next week.
So with that in mind, Car, score prediction?
I don't know whether to go 1-0 or go like 5-4, because like I genuinely don't. It's either going to be so tight and horrible and clenchy, or it's going to be just goals galore and whoever scores the last one wins it. So I'll go conservative. I'll say 2-1 to us.
Yeah, I was thinking 1-0 to us, to be fair. I think it's going to be a tight, nervy game. But Alan, are you going goals galore, or are you going defence?
I was going to go 2-0 to us, but Carl's got me thinking it might be something like 4-3, and we'll all be absolutely tearing our hair out, having palpitations watching that. So it really could be anything, but I think we'll look to be sort of solid and snuff Hearts out and make sure we take our chances. And Katie Wilkinson and Rio Hardy bound to be the starting two up front next week. So I think I go a piece and 2-0, 3 points, chips and home. That'll do us.
That'll do us indeed. Have we got the score predictor this week, or were you still tidying that up before we came on?
Still got to tot it up, but very few people got any results wrong. Only Montrose, Dundee United gave some incorrect results. Some people had Dundee United taking something, and it finished 2-1 Montrose. So quite a few correct scores and amongst there. So quite a lot of people on somewhere between 15 and 20 points. But it'll be posted probably early tomorrow morning in the group, and I'll post a thread for next week's. So make sure you don't miss out. Car.
And Car, if you can't tell by her face if you're watching this already, is wearing the cone of shame because she forgot to do it.
No, but in fairness, I did not forget. Yesterday morning at work, I remembered and I did it, but my signal obviously wasn't good enough. It didn't go through. So I did remember, it didn't work.
Blame it on the technology, why don't you?
And I'll text Alan next time. I'll text him my results and then people think it's fixed.
If it's not on the Facebook group, it didn't count. But we'll wrap it up there. Obviously get your tickets for Hearts next week, but if you can't make it, because it is quite a tight ground with not many tickets sold, it is on BBC Alba for anybody that wants to ask if it's on TV. Yes, it is. So we will leave it there this week. My thanks as always to Alan and Kat.
Thanks, Laura.
Thank you, Laura.
And we'll speak to you next week.